Hello, everybody. It's that college football guy here with another video. Yeah, I'm here in the back because literally the sun is coming through the cab. Literally, it was like right here. You saw the outline of the phone holder and everything else in it. My face was a bunch of shadows and white light, so it looked rather kind of funky looking, I will freely admit. So we're a little bit darker here. I'll get the phone up here. I'll do this a little bit more relaxed. There, the picture's a little bit better now. Now I don't look so kind of like I'm the creature from the Black Lagoon. Don't say it. You saw the title of the video. The super conferences, who can afford to go? Here's my thing. We heard about this, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing. There's a whole bunch of videos that everybody else has done about this. I don't need to go into that detail. This is my interpretation of it, okay? This is my feelings about it. I looked at this and I'm going like, okay, so you have to pay minimum for the super conferences $30,000 per athlete for at least half of the athletes you have, and Title IX applies. Half men, half women. It says, so you only have to pay $6 million a year. I'm looking at this going like, no. I smell a Title IX class action lawsuit coming. Why? They pay half. I'm going to give you a situation, and then you tell me, because I could see this happening so easily. Women's athlete walks into whatever university's athletic director's office and like schedules a meeting or whatever the heck to have, an appointment. Goes to talk to him and says, what would you like to talk about today? He says, well, I wanted to know why that the ladies from blah blah program are getting the $30,000 and we're not. He says, well, there was a bunch of factors on there, and he says, Mr. AD, none of the women's programs make any money. We know that. So everybody is costing you money, and about the same amount. Why are you playing favorites? Why are they getting it and we're not? Because that's the point. Almost all the women, there's a couple of, I'm willing to bet maybe like the UConn women's program and a couple of the women's basketball programs might turn a profit, but that's an abnormality. That's not something that's normal. But going through and doing this, like, okay, we all lose money. You think they won't sue? I think they would. So that means you got to pay all the women. Well, that means also you got to pay all the men. So this is just an introduction, but realistically, to avoid lawsuits in the future, you'd have to pay everybody across the board, all of them. No privilege, no selective anything, and get sued over it. The only way it's going to work is you have to pay all of them. So now you're talking $12 to $15 million a year for an athletic program, athletic department paying all the athletes per year, every year. Let's go off that. Who could afford it? Well, everybody in the Big Ten and the SEC could. Question is, would they? Vanderbilt dumped some of their money from their TV revenue into the actual school, back in the university. But they want to have to give part of that up. But the problem is, at the side, if you don't, you're going to have half of what you had, and then you have to do that anyway. So you're going to have to do it regardless. Now, the ones to watch for are going to be the ACC, the Pac-12 schools, Oregon State, Washington State, and the Mountain West. No, none of them. So you're looking at the ACC and the Big 12 and Notre Dame. What Notre Dame doing? Good question. Because they have their TV deal. Would their TV deal change if they don't go? Or could they stay and feast on lower competition and battle for a national championship and still get the money? Because they get to keep their rivals. Provided some of them still go. Could that still happen? Something to think about. But I look at it this way. $15 million a year. Who could afford it? Let's go to the ACC. Clemson, Florida State. Oh, yeah. Not even a question. Miami? Yeah, I think they could too. North Carolina? I think so too. Let's go through the top here. We've got 4 done. Well, Notre Dame's affiliated. We already did them. So there's technically, 18 members of the conference. We just did 5. Let's go to the top here. Pitt? Nope. Boston College, nope. Syracuse, nope. Virginia, nope. Virginia Tech, nope. 5 gone. Let's look at, let's see what we got here. Louisville. Could they? 15 million a year? They've dumped a lot of money in facilities recently, but 15 million a year? I mean, maybe. Maybe? Put them in a maybe pile. Okay, let's see here. We've got Louisville. We have NC State. Maybe? I think they'd be in the maybe pile too, don't you think? NC State in the maybe. It's 15 million a year is a lot of money every single year. Maybe. Duke? I don't know. I don't think Duke would. I don't think Duke would do it. Wake Forest? No, they wouldn't do it either. So we're down. Let's see, who else am I missing in the ACC? We got Duke, Wake Forest. We got Georgia Tech. They don't fund anything in the programs now. I mean, it's like we lost here. So let me here, make sure we got here. Oh, yeah. Stanford. Maybe. They might do it. Cal, as much as they want to, they're hurting bad. I don't think they'd be able to do it. SMU, they bought their way in. Could they keep buying their way in? Maybe. So you got 4 maybes and 4 confirmed. It could be as many as 8 out of a 18-team conference. Let's look at the Big 12. Who would go? TCU. Yeah, they would. I mean, they raised their tuition to $61,000 a year. I read that and I was like, jeez, I mean, you guys knew about this ahead of time and were planning it already? Setting the money aside to pay for this? Texas Tech. This is where we need Scotty and Elaine Tran and everybody else from the Big 12 who's on there. Let me know about this. And obviously Baylor, would they? Could they afford $15 million a year? I don't know. Be perfectly honest, I don't know. Texas Tech, maybe. TCU, I think they could. Houston, probably not. Let's see. Let's look at. We're doing the current members, the new members of the Pac-12 here, but UCF, probably not. Cincinnati, probably not. West Virginia, I don't know. I really don't know. Could they afford to pay that much a year? I really don't think so. Oklahoma and Texas are leaving to go to the SEC, and they'd be paying. So we already know about them. So that makes 16 over there, and you got 18 up in the Pac-12 with Oregon, Washington, USC, and UCLA. So that makes 18 for the Big 10 and 16 with 34. You might have 8 over here, possibly. 4 confirmed, that makes 38. If not, it's 42. We got TCU on there, but let's keep going with this. We had TCU, we did Baylor, we did Texas Tech, we did Houston, West Virginia, Cincinnati, no. UCF, no. Kansas and Kansas State. I don't think so. I don't think either one of them could afford to do it either. That's a lot of money. Iowa State, probably not. Oklahoma State, maybe. Maybe. Kansas State, I might put in a maybe too, but I don't know. Those who know the Big 12 better than I do, you need to let me know down in the comments about this. $15 million a year. Remember that number. Kansas State on that. All right. Arizona and Arizona State. No chance either one of them. Arizona just had the thing recently come out that through an accounting error, they've misplaced $200 million. Yeah, look that one up. Yeah, they can't afford that. Arizona State, no, they can't afford it. Colorado, you spent money on DM, but are you spending it anywhere else? I don't know. I don't think so. Utah, I think is a maybe. BYU, I think they would spend the money and go, but would they want to? Would they want to? Do they want to spread the gospel? Do they want to go do all this and spend that money to go do it? But you'd be facing the big boys and possibly getting stomped every chance you got early on. Would that be worth it? So let's run this down here. I mean, my Big 12 fans, let me know who you think out of the Big 12 could afford $14 million a year. Because how many student athletes are at your university at $30,000 a pop? Minimal. That's the opening salvo. Some universities are going to pay more. They're going to pay $50. The problem is if you do men's basketball and football, that's over 100, almost 100, and it's over 120, not 120, but it's a lot of over 100 people. And how many on women's side are you going to match up to that to get 100? That's where they got the 200 from. Some maybe 250. I'm looking at this going like,
a new message has arrived.
Someone send me a message on my truck. Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, I'm literally been thinking about this, going like, who could afford to go? And like the ACC, you got the four obviouses. You've got Clemson, you got Florida State, you got North Carolina, you got Miami. Miami would buy their way in. They'd find a way to do it. Figure out something. If they didn't, man, they're gonna get laughed at for eternity. And the Big 12, I see TCU and a few others. They said, oh, there's going to be 50 schools. And the problem is we have to think about they're going to be buying in to be part of this. Does Northwestern, does Rutgers, does Vanderbilt, does Duke, does Wake Forest, does all these other schools who are going to be making the money want to do that? This is, they say the have and the have-nots. This is really the haves and the have-nots. And I fully believe, I think the acronym is going to change. We have FCS, Football Championship Series, FBS, the current level Football Bowl Series. I think they're going to do FAS or F1S for what this new group will be. And eventually they're going to get their own championship. I think that's going to be the split off. But I think it's also going to come with is you get to split off in your own rules, which probably the government's going to say you can't be a part of this and this rules. You're going to be branched off in your own championship, your own everything else. You can't compete in the NCAA tournament. And what I also think they might do later on to trap them, you want to be the elite of the elite, you can't play anybody lower level than you anymore. I'm willing to bet someone's going to try this. And I can hear the argument already in my head. I've been hearing this. Well, we need to play everybody. It says, okay, fine. You think you're an elite level. You're above everybody else. You're paid your way. Your own rules. You're better than everybody else. Name me, if you say like you're like the National Football League equivalent of college football, which some of the ADs and presidents have said. Name me the last time an NFL team scheduled a game against a USFL, CFL, XFL, World League, Arena League team, whatever pro league. Scheduled a game against them and it counted as a win on their regular season schedule. I'll wait. Hasn't happened and it won't. You want to be like the NFL? You can only play each other like the NFL. That's why they need like 50-something teams, so that way they can do it. You can have haves and have-nots in that. Everybody buys their way in. But I want you all to tell me I'm looking at this from 6 million, a lot of teams can get in. But the ladies being discriminated against would be by choice because it's not by who makes money, because none of them do. UConn, you can make the argument. The women's team makes it in, or LSU, or whoever. Name me another program that makes money. They don't. So since they don't make money, why are you just doing certain ones? It's going to come bite them. So the only way around it is everybody. But why don't you let me know what you think about this down in the comments. So thanks everybody for watching the video. If you haven't done it already, please smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. Helps me to be seen by more people. Comment on the video. I want to hear what you think about this, about all of this, my interpretation of it, what it could be, because I got a bad feeling if this goes forward, it's going to cost a lot of money. And that list of, we're going to have 70 teams. And everybody said, where did 70 come from? Look at this here. 12 in the Pac-12, 14 in the Big 12. That makes 26. 14 in the Big 10 this year. That makes 40. 14 in the SEC. That makes 54. 14 in the ACC. That makes 68. Notre Dame 69. SMU buys their way in. There's 70. There's your schools. That's the 70 they're talking about. So now there's room for other schools to come in. You really think Boise State or Tulane or even a major market team, San Diego State, UNLV, I'm trying to think of schools in major markets, UAB or whoever. You think any of them can afford $15 million a year? No. I mean, this is just basically split them off, give them their own championship, split them away from the NCAA tournament, become a pay-for-play league, remove them from it, which has another problem in its own right, which I said in a video I did a few months ago. If you want to do pay-to-play and completely separate yourself from the NCAA, that's almost separating yourself from the Department of Education, which means that they could potentially strip your academic accreditation from you if you want to be a semi-pro league. Because you can't be a semi-pro league in an NCAA institution. And you can't do that if you're part of the Department of Education in an accredited university. You'd lose everything. Talk about a class action lawsuit. Everybody who has a degree suing you, or going to have one, how many trillions of dollars would that one be across the board? Problems. But you have all that, and like I said, comment on the video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 500 subscribers so we can make some things happen. Slowly but surely get on the crawl to make some better things happen here. First 500, that's 600, and this has worked this way up one by one. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope everybody's enjoying their Thursday. I get to go to South Carolina from here sometime tomorrow, whenever my damn trailer shows up, because the guy is lost. I'm not kidding. That was the message, probably tell me where he's at. Might be going to meet him, but I'm not going to stop mid-video when I've tried to record this thing 3 times. So thanks everybody for watching the video. Have a great Thursday. Be safe out there, and please be good to each other.